Happy Friday. How's everybody doing? So, yesterday I did a live stream, which I thought was pretty awesome. Can you hear me? How is my audio? So, yesterday the live stream was pretty good. I thought it was about 49 minutes long. There we go. All right. Oh, shoot. I gotta turn that down. All right. So, my audio is okay? Good. All right. Um, So first, my camera wasn't working on my iPad for some reason. So I switched to my phone. I was on the wrong channel, did the live stream. I thought it was great. Finally listened back to it when it uploaded, and it had so much white noise, I had to delete it. So here we are again. But I have my AirPods in, and we should be fine. I don't hear any white noise. All I had was my ceiling fan on, which was on low, and I don't hear any noise out of it, but and I was on Misfit Moxie. So, wrong channel, all good. Gotta learn. Okay, today we're going to talk about. Yesterday we learned about that liars can't lie backwards. Today we're going to talk about that and how to spot a liar, true crime laws, and how a psychopath thinks. Oh, you guys, what have you been watching lately? We started watching Only Murders in the Building on YouTube, and it is so funny. Steve Martin, Martin Short, and Selena Gomez. And it's family friendly and it is so hilarious. If you want to watch something funny and good, check that out on Hulu. Only Murders in the Building. It has me laughing. Okay, before we get started, everything in this video is for entertainment purposes and educational purposes only. It has my opinion in it. Hello, Renee. How are you doing? Thank you for joining me. I'm going to try to get through this in 1 hour. We'll see if we can do that. Yesterday, the live stream, I didn't realize I was on the wrong channel, first of all. So that was funny. And then when it finally uploaded, I was like, what is all that noise? I'm doing good. I'm learning things. So that's always good. Learning things is good. And my cat was in my chair. So I set everything up facing this way, and he just got out of my chair. And so I shuffle everything back this way. So we're good. All right. I was going to kind of like just squish in last night live feed, yesterday's live into this one just a little bit. So, yes, I love learning, obviously. If you don't learn, your brain goes to mush. We're going to talk about liars. Once you learn how to spot out a liar, it's like, there they are. And let's see, where am I on my notes? I always have to have my notes. Okay, yeah, yesterday we learned that liars can't lie backwards. So if they are asked to, they're going to delay in answering, make it confused, or leave out pieces of the story. When then they ask about the details, usually details will change, or they'll give too many details or not enough details. They'll try to over explain themselves or be vague so they don't trip up on their answers. Oh, I know when they lie and they act like you're crazy. I've been there. I can't believe It's kind of like, I can't believe I let somebody act like that towards me. This one reason why I started learning this stuff is because people are very manipulative. And so it's crazy. Yeah, they will make you act like, or they'll make you think you're crazy because of what they've done. Um, so, anyways, honest memories surface quickly. And so when you ask them to think back and tell you it's delayed because it's not a memory, it's something they're trying to remember as a false fact. Think of it. Too many years, too many years, too many years of that. Too many years. I almost broke out in song. We always kind of make little jingles, and I almost just did right there. That would be a good little jingle. Too many years, too many years, too many years of that. Anyways, Renee, you're gonna get me all goofy on here. Uh-huh. Oh, thank you. I wasn't sure, so I stuck my I think it looks okay today. And then I was like, yeah, maybe I should stick my glasses in it. I haven't actually worn these outside. So, all right. So liars also have an emotional mismatch. Like they'll be smiling when they're talking about something awful. And what I think of is Burke Ramsey. If you've ever seen Burke Ramsey on, especially Dr. Phil, Dr. Phil. I am from the South. My accent flipped a little bit right there. Dr. Phil, he's smiling when he's talking about what happened to John Bonet. If you know what I'm talking about, he's kind of creepy. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go look up Burke Ramsey on. Uh, my dog is shaking the table. There we go. I'm surprised my animals are not up in my face and on my lap going, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" You get chills when you watch Burke Ramsey. He's he's not normal. I'll be nice and say that. Um, so yeah, they get defensive, irritated, angry, or defensive when pressed on giving clarifications and maybe nervousness. I see all of that in this all that all reminds me of Sarah Boone, and that's why I put her on the icon because she. Let me know what you think about Sarah Boone. She gets defensive. She's nervous. She's all over the place with her emotions. So, and then she repeats herself, like we talked yesterday, and she has the step by step. We were doing this, and then this, and then that, and then so she has the storyline going on. And she was convicted, by the way. She is going to spend her whole life in jail. That was a crazy trial. It was very crazy. Um, yeah, so they're rehearsed versus just thinking back to. Yes, I agree. I can't stand that was a tough one to watch. Yes, yes, you could just tell every word was a lie. That is correct. So yeah, and they'll be rehearsed instead of just thinking back to a memory. Um, and so we also agreed that Dylan sounded like she was rehearsed, and we were kind of wondering why. So why is Dylan rehearsed, and why is she telling this story? So that up is she saying what the university wanted her to say? Is she just trying to cover for someone? I know, but there's something there for sure. And so that's how liars are going to act and think. Like growing up, it's like I only knew the word pathological liar, and so it's like, yeah, she's a pathological liar. She's a pathological, but it's so much deeper than that. So, whoa, I was in a crazy place. I think maybe the university too. Um, since they're supposed to call the university and see what they're supposed to do before they call the police. I think that's really strange. I didn't know that until the Idaho 4 case. So, um, let's see. Okay, now how does a psychopath think? And so when we think of liars versus psychopaths, of course, psychopaths are going to lie. So not all liars are psychopaths, but maybe all psychopaths are liars. I don't know if that's for sure, but it makes sense. So a psychopath is also going to lack empathy, remorse, have persistence, antisocial behavior, and egotistical traits. And we probably know some people like that. I do. I try to stay away from people like that. I stay at home. I try to shelter myself inside my little home. They're also going to be charming, manipulative. They're going to lack emotion, and some are going to be calm and planned. Those are the very scary psychopaths, serial killers, and these people are scary. These people can be scary. Good. I'm glad you avoid them. Everyone, avoid these people. That's what this video is for. We're making good time. We'll get done before the hour because I'm going live again. I believe it's 6:30. It is 6:30, 7:30 your time in Pennsylvania, and we're gonna do serial killer trivia hour. I made sure I said that slowly so I wouldn't trip up on those words. All right. So a psychopath learns how to mimic the expressions of other people because they don't have grief or sadness themselves. You're welcome. And so if you've ever seen anybody and their facial expressions are kind of strange or over dramatic, you might want to question why. Um, because that person might be mimicking what they think they are supposed to be doing because other people are sad and they're supposed to look sad. So this reminds me of Amber Heard way back when. Remember how she would get on the stand and she would do this and look sad, like a little, and her facial expressions for sure. It is creepy. Yes, it is so creepy, you guys. So, and I think when we were talking about that story a long time ago, or that trial a long time ago, we all knew Amber Heard was lying. So we knew their facial expressions are just a little too much, a little too odd. Oh yeah, she's another one. Amber Heard, Sarah Boone. I'm sure we will come up with more. The female cringe list. Ooh. So they lack grief or sadness, those emotions of empathy. They just don't have them. And I've heard it's something in I think it's the hypothalamus, or it might be your hippocampus in your brain. That is something is kind of different in their brains. So don't get me too deep on that. I can dig deeper into that, but we don't need to go there. But they do have something like a little bit different in their brain. I'm not sure if it's chemicals or if there's something missing, but not all people are the same. And not all people have the same brains or think the same or feel the same. So, um, so they might understand people being sad, but they don't have that emotion. So you're really looking at somebody who's kind of acting like they're sad or they're a lot of times it's the like the pull me emotions, like the sad, the empathy emotions, because they can get mad. That's for sure. That is creepy too. Yeah. Um, okay, a lot with my hands, you guys. I hope you don't mind. I also used to kind of standing up because I lectured for so long. I'm trying to sit still and not wave my hands around so much, but whatever. All righty. Okay, so psychopaths don't. Okay, when most people see someone cry, they instinctively feel concern or sadness too. Um, like if you're watching a really sad show or a movie and you kind of tear up, you're probably not a psychopath. You're okay. You might be a little embarrassed and try to hide it from the people you're watching it with. But you're all right. That's natural. Yeah, when you realize they're faking, it's beyond disturbing and this distressing. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. It's like I remember being like a younger 10 or so and just thinking people are just having a bad day. They just need a hug. I was so wrong. I was very wrong. That hugs won't help everyone, but they're nice. They might help some people. Beware of who you hug. Don't hug everyone. If they have a weird face, don't hug them. Um, yeah, we're coming up with good advice today. So psychopaths don't have that. They don't have the natural connection with people, and so they don't have that natural connection to feel sorry or have empathy when someone is hurting or sad. Thank you. Good advice. Thank you. I am full of really good advice. I have good advice for the people that are mean. Now that you bring it up, I wasn't going to bring it up, but since you brought it up, the people that are being really mean about some of the very awful things that have happened here lately, I think you know what I'm talking about. I think you guys need to take yourselves out to the woods with, I'll be nice and let you take a tent, a pack of hot dogs, a bottle of water, and a lighter if you promise not to light anything on fire on your way out to the woods. Only campfire. Stay out there for at least 3 days. Come back and see if you're still jerks. And that's my advice to the people. Go to nature. Go see how you feel after you've been in nature for at least 3 days. With your pack of hot dogs. Okay. Okay, anyways, so psychopaths will mimic how people react, study how to smile, frown, even their tone of voice, and will mirror them to appear normal. Yeah, it's like, the Joker or something, looking in the mirror, trying to trying to see how people smile. And yeah, it is super creepy if you think about it. Sit here and look out my window going, yeah, I don't think I want to go out there today. Too many creepy people. And I bet they do go home and smile and frown and make all these faces. You like my 3D in the nature plan? Yeah, go all these TikTok people that have these little trends. Go do the 3-day nature trend. Let's start that. Right now they're doing the Tylenol trend. Have you heard of that? They're taking Tylenol because they heard that it may cause autism, may be linked to autism. And so they're protesting by taking a lot of Tylenol. And one lady took so much, and yes, she is pregnant. She took so much that she is in um, ICU and is probably not going to come out of it. So, some more advice: don't be stupid. All right, there's more good advice. Don't be stupid because you hate somebody, and don't act on your emotions. That's never a good idea. So, you haven't heard of that, you guys? Yeah. Yeah. And she was like very pregnant. So, I don't know what is, yeah, just because I think it was just 2 days, 2 or 3 days ago, Trump and Bobby Kennedy came out and said Tylenol is linked to autism and pregnant ladies should not take it. So, if you know anybody that's pregnant, and do not let them take Tylenol. Tell them not to take Tylenol. I mean, even if you don't believe it, just for safety and for your baby's safety, don't do it. So maybe we should have talked about that. But no, you guys, don't be stupid. Yeah, these people need a little good advice and a little mentoring. We have some lost people out there, but never act upon your emotions, especially if you hate somebody else. So, I mean, we're just pulling advice out of left and right. We might not get through the hour if we keep coming up with all this good advice. So, all right, if you see somebody trying to mimic other people and they seem a little off, you might want to keep an eye on that person. The false empathy or mimicking of emotions can make them seem charming. And so you've seen those really charming people, and girls fall in love with them or guys fall in love, and those are probably the people that are married within just a few days, and it's like, oh, that might not be a good idea. You might have got yourself in big trouble right there. So they seem charming, approachable, deeply caring. They'll even mimic you in the beginning of a relationship to, like, if you're feeling insecure, they'll feel insecure just to match your emotions. So they're on the same level of you as you, but really they're just getting you to be insecure and off your guard so they can take advantage of you. And most people assume that others feel emotions the same way that they do. So that is how people end up getting manipulated. It just happened to me. What are you guys drinking? Because I like this orangeade Rockstar. Tastes like vitamins. It's only 15 calories. Really low on sodium and everything. So I think it's okay to drink, right? What do you guys think? Are these okay to drink? I drink them. So it's probably the worst thing that I do drink. If you say it's bad, I say it's okay. It's okay. Yes, I would be single too if it wasn't for getting with who I'm with now, who we've known. I was 16 and he was 15 and a half. So I'm 6 months older. So I get to do everything first. And my next one is 50. So I get to be 50 first. So yay, me. And, but he's always asking, how old are we turning? Because it confuses me because half the time I'm technically 1 year older and he's 1 year younger. And half the time we're the same age. So you learned 75 names for sugar yesterday. That's a lot of names for sugar. I didn't know there was so many names for sugar. Are you talking about like the sugar in foods? You're not talking about like, hey, sugar, darling, honey. I'm assuming. So, all right. Definitely the authenticity of the person's actions are should be questioned. However, we don't because they're charming and we want to think that they are that nice and charming. Yes, a 20 Coca-Cola has 16 teaspoons. I was telling my friend this. He's like in his 60s and hello Jeff. Sorry, I'm telling on you right now. He's and my gosh, I'm sorry if he might be in his 50s. Okay, we'll say he's in his 50s. He might be 60. I don't really know. People don't seem that old to me, so really I have a hard time with ages anymore. Anyways, he's in his 50s or 60s, but I think maybe his late 50s he might be 60, I'm guessing. And I'm sorry if I'm wrong. But he keeps I keep giving him advice on his hips and his knees and just working out a little bit. That's what I do on my other channel, Misfit Moxie, if you guys want to watch me over there. And so he was saying, oh, he drinks 2 glasses of Coca Cola every day. And I was like, oh my God. And so he quit doing that. And the next time I saw him, he had actually slimmed down. He had to go and get some new suits for work. And just by not drinking Coca Cola, it has so much sugar. And sugar is pretty much poison, you guys. It's pretty much poison. So cut out the sugar and you'll naturally lose a little bit of weight and some inches if you want to do that. So I'm proud of Jeff. Congratulations, Jeff. Okay. Okay, so that's how psychopaths. So next time maybe we're talking about somebody and like Sarah Boone. Do you think she might be a psychopath? Because to me, she's a little. I don't think she's just lying. I think there's more there. I think she was very controlling and probably manipulative. I think she might qualify for that, but I can't say personally. It's just my opinion. Just my opinion. Right. Okay, so on names, it it amazes me. I understand like a couple decades ago or maybe a decade ago that if you see a crime, it's not illegal to not report it. But now that everybody has cell phones, abusive psychopath. Agreed. Agreed. Um, is definitely. Did you see how many lawyers she went through? She had, what did she have, like 8 lawyers or something quit on her because she was, yeah, I would not want to have to deal with that lady at all. Some trials I will never ever rewatch again. So it was outrageous. I can't believe she actually stood up and they had the suitcase there and she was just acting like I would be freaking out. A normal person would be freaking out if the suitcase where their loved one passed away in was right there in front of them. But no, she went ahead and put those gloves on and unzipped it and zipped it and did what she did to it. That is just insane. And it's crazy. It was horrifying. I couldn't believe it. Well, thank goodness I know my friend is not a psychopath. We passed the test. You guys passed the test or not? Let me know. Go test yourself. If you're looking at yourself in the mirror making funny faces, you might want to question. I'm just kidding, but we're good. So, yeah, on that it's illegal to report a crime. Now that everyone has cell phones, like we were talking about yesterday, um, I think maybe they needed to update that law, and 'cause we just see so many things happening where people are not only not calling 911 for help, but they're literally sitting there and not having any reaction at all. And me just watching the video is, the videos of these things, it is just, I'm like at a loss for words at how people have just become accustomed to some of these things. Those people need to go to they need to go to the woods for at least 3 days with a pack of hot dogs. So the primary legal consequence for a passive witness often arises only if they actively participate in concealing the crime or hinder law enforcement after the fact. And of course, there are exceptions, but I mean, of course, you can't conceal a crime or hinder law enforcement. So, duh. But just witnessing a crime and going about your day and not getting off of YouTube or Facebook or whatever and saying, hey, this person might need help is just insane. We need to update that law, I think, since everybody is carrying a cell phone. And I'm not saying that you should like go to jail, but maybe get community service, or you have to go out and camp and survive by yourself. I really want them to go camping. All right. Well, what do you guys think? Do you think that class should be changed? I think we should look into it. All right. And I'm going to try to. Well, that's all I have on that. And thank you for so many good questions and comments. And is my audio good today? It does need to be changed now. It kind of helps people not be empathetic or care when they actually have a device and they choose not to use it. And so following a crowd also is another bias. It's called following the crowd bias, and we see that a lot. And so these people think they're all cool, and really they're just following other stupid people. Can I call people stupid? Well, we're not calling anybody specific stupid, so I think that's fine. Thank you. Excellent. Awesome. I have my AirPods in. I just got these. My man takes good care of me. He got the newest ones. He works at Apple. So he got the newest ones. I got these, which are better than my old ones, and they have noise cancellation. So if there is some strange noise in my house, I was hoping that it wouldn't be picked up. And I still don't know how that little fan is going slowly up there made all that noise, because it doesn't make any audible noise that I can hear. And I could be going deaf. I am getting old. Anyways, the follow the crowd bias I see happening a lot too, especially with the Tylenol and all these little YouTube trends. I don't watch YouTube. I don't have YouTube, so but I do see them, and I'm always like the Tide Pod trend. It's like, why? Why? Because it's not cool and it never makes sense. It's always like hurting you. So it's the follow the crowd bias or the bandwagon effect. If you guys want to know what's happening, there's actually mental words for these things. And or the herd mentality. So if you want to be part of the herd, I never want to be part of the herd. I always think, nope, I'm gonna just stay inside and be by myself. I'm gonna do opposite of what everybody's doing. It is a cognitive bias, and it's where individuals adopt certain behaviors, beliefs, or trends simply because many other people are doing so. So, if you're following a TikTok trend, maybe you need to put your TikTok away because you might be hurting yourself. And what do we say to those people? Do I need to tell them where they need to go? We can all be alone together. It's safer that way. So the some states do have the Good Samaritan law that you did bring up in the Seinfeld episode, and that does require a person to report, but that's only in certain jurisdictions, and more people are not only not reporting 911, but they don't help or have reactions. So maybe the Samaritan law is what we need to, the Good Samaritan law is what we need to look into. Oh, yes, 3 days in the woods. Yes, exactly right. You guys got it. You guys got it. All right. Well, that is all I have for today. Well, I guess for this live stream until we go on later, and we're going to do a little trivia hour, serial killer trivia hour. I cannot say that 3 times fast. It's a tragedy the way some people are. I agree. And oh, one thing we talked about was the bigger the city, the more like psychopathic people act. Not that they're psychopaths, but the more they act, if there's 10 or 20 people in a crowd and someone is hurt, there's more likely that more people are going to help and call 911 than if, like in New York City, where there's so many people, everybody just you see that they just kind of sit and they get accustomed to probably thinking someone else is going to call 911. However, like on that train, when you're sitting, was it even 3 feet from the person, from that girl, and you don't do anything, that's a little too far for me to explain. I understand that in bigger cities, not everyone is going to jump to help. However, it is a big problem. And the lack of empathy and just the lack of caring or calling 911 alone, I think is a problem. I know you guys all agree. And with that, I'm going to say thank you for joining me. Beyond horrifying, how can they not call 911? I know. I called 911 once when I haven't always lived in the best neighborhoods. And the last uh, the last 4 years, when homelessness got a lot worse, it came creeping into our neighborhood, and it was fine before, but it did start creeping into our neighborhood. And one night there was a girl yelling down the street, and there was a guy with her, and I called 911 because I was afraid he was going to do something to her. I don't know if the cops ever found him. They went walking down the street, and cops are probably not going to do much like that. They're probably thinking, well, I don't know what they think, but it doesn't seem like they have a very quick response, except for after the Idaho 4 911 call, they were there in 4 minutes. And so I thought that was kind of interesting that it only took them 4 minutes to get there while she was actually still on the phone with the dispatcher. It was almost like they were kind of waiting on the 911 call so they could show up. And if they told the university ahead of time, and then the university told the cops and let them know this is what's going on, this is how we're going to take this or handle this. So it kind of seems like the cops already knew. Because every time I call the cops, I'm like, well, are they going to come? Are they coming? So, anyways, all right. Well, have a good, it's almost evening. Good afternoon. I will see you guys this evening. I will have some cute little certificates that I've made out for you guys. Hi, we're just wrapping up. I am going to say Muzz Plays. I'm not sure how to say your name, but you just joined. Thank you so much. We were talking about we've talked about a lot of different things. We've talked about how a psychopath thinks, how a liar, how liars are, and signs to spot a liar. And we've given a lot of good advice out. So if you want to replay and watch that, we've given good advice like people that are doing really mean things need to go to the woods for 3 days. And I was nice and said they could take a tent and a pack of hot dogs and some water and a lighter if they promise not to catch anything on fire on the way. And they need to stay out in the nature for about 3 days, and then they can come back and see how they feel after that. That was good advice. We have good advice. Oh, thank you. So we're gonna go on. I'm going on again at 6:30 Central. Um, and we're going to do a little serial killer trivia hour. And so I'll see you there. All right. Well, you guys have a good afternoon, and I'll see you in a little bit. Ready? See ya.